Okay, getting those other guys back in. Hey, what's going on? Found a new hat. Got a new hat. Those other homies should be rolling in here. Homies from the posse, the original High Noon Posse. So let's see where we're at with our goal. We're at we are so close. It's killing me. We're at 72,252, 426 lovely backers. Appreciate y'all. Good morning, Dakota. Oh man, I love that picture. Love that image. That was a beautiful image. Now let's. Did you do any of the voice acting for this? I did not. I considered it, and then when I was just going through different voices, I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't convince myself enough that I would be the guy to suit the job. Dwight did. Dwight did one of the on the one of the posse highlight videos. He did a voice for that. It's so that's aired on a lot of our advertisements over the last month. A final push near, yeah, Tom, yeah. It's day one, really. I'm gonna after this is done. I've been up. I'm too old for this stuff. I'm like turning 41 next month, yo, and I'm like staying up for 24 hours. That's okay. These are the things I do for you guys, the sacrifices that we make. Oh, the posse spotlight video. Dwight did the voice for that. So why do you think I have a nice voice? You think I can do? You think I can do this country western? these country western voices? I don't know. Link to the Kickstarter is what you're looking for? Because I got you, buddy. Have I slept? I not really. I took like a little bit of a nap for maybe about 20 minutes. Like 10 hours ago. And then again, maybe that last time I didn't really sleep. I just had my eyes closed and I was just trying to whatever. Oh, the StreamYard link. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. There is the StreamYard link. Do. My mind is dead. We're doing this thing. Where's everybody from right now? Are you guys all US or is this our UK friends? And we got any of our French and German peeps around? Well, Tristan, that's a solid question. Yeah, everyone, when you go into a Kickstarter, you always want the best, right? You always want to be the Frosthavens. You want to be the guys that can do 1 million in a day, and all that other stuff. So, am I happy? I was going to be happy with any positive result that we had. Would we want more? Of course, we want more. But are we upset? No, because we've done. At the end of the day, the only thing that we could ever judge ourselves is on effort, right? And I got to tell you, we put everything in this thing. This ain't going anywhere. Like we're on a really good pace. We got a lot of things planned for this month. So I think we'll definitely have a consistent one campaign. We'll be pulling in some collaborators and whatnot. So Tom's down in Melbourne. So I don't know. What do you think, Tristan? Are you happy with our results? I would have liked to have hit in one day. We're running a little thin unless our UK friends pick up here, towards noon. I would like to get it all done on really the first day. But if it's not done on the first day, it doesn't mean it doesn't get done. I just really, really, really would like to be overfunded because then we can do all these amazing things. That we have planned. We can get all these different posses out. We can, just really make a go of it. And yeah. Did I send it? I sent the link. I'll do it again. I sent it to Rad, I think. Hold on a sec. All right. Link has been sent. It's in now as we speak. Give me a second. I got to change the profile. Oops. Edit. Discard. Edit privacy. Public. Boom. Done. Thank you. This is not my hat. I lost my hat. I'm wearing Becky's hat. Timmy K. Thanks for stopping by. We're wrapping up. It's got to be late by you at 3:30 in the morning. What are you doing? What are you doing up? Where's these other guys?
Coffee.
There they are.
You want a hat to cover your face?
I had a wardrobe change.
Yeah, we noticed your hat got much more rakish.
Yeah. This is much more comfortable. It's a comfortable hat, of course.
You gotta try, next time we're all together, you gotta try this hat on. This bad boy is as comfortable as
Now
with his goofy. Look at how much crap I can put on my hat.
Clockmaker.
That's right. That fits your head. You must have a huge head. Watch this. Let me see the hat. Give me that. Look at this. Okay, so look how big Dwight's head is. Ready?
What can I say? I got a big head, you know?
That is funny because you knew it. You knew it. You knew it. Oh, it's great.
To the surprise of nobody. Turns out Dwight's got a big head.
Graham Woolridge, I've been here from the start and want to be with you for the end. I love you, man.
That's
Graham,
right.
thank you.
We come full circle. It's been a whole day for Graham. It's been a whole day.
430 people would have liked our little game.
Yeah.
Oh, there's thousands like it. Thousands. So this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Should we find a topic of discussion?
I was gonna say, like, the whole even voice acting thing wasn't even intentional. When I did when I did that video the first time, I just read the lines, and I just wanted, because they're just supposed to be placeholder. My intention was to get a voice actor, and I was thinking of actually getting, one of our voice actors that we had. And then when I was editing it, my mom came into the office and she saw me edit, and she's like, "What are you working on?" I was like, "Oh, I'm working on this." And I played it, and she saw the video and she heard like this voice, and she's like, "Ew, it's not gonna be that, is that?" And I was like, "No, Mom, it's just a placeholder." She's like, "Good." And like she was like total face of disapproval And I felt so bad, and I was like, you know what? I felt like she didn't understand it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do like a country accent just to get it over with, get it out of the way, and let her. Then I'll show it to her, and then let her then figure out what she really thinks. So I did it that way. I did it with the accent, and I played it. I was like, what do you think of this? She was like, oh, that's amazing. Who did you get to do it? Who did you get to do the voice? And I was like, that's me.
Shout out to Joe Schaff, who said, "Hey everybody," who's saying, "Hey back." Joe.
Hey Joe.
Yeah, Becky didn't think it was you either. I was like, I think this is Dwight. I was like, listen to this voice. I was like, I hear tints of Dwight in that voice. And yeah, you did good. That ended up making the cut because we were running all of these different ads to test them out and to come down to a final 5, and that Posse Spotlight was one of them. So
there you go.
We're still running it for Brandon. Wow. Oh no.
I have been of service and will be of service.
The final stretch. This is the haul right here.
We were talking. So Brandon Hartzog says, "Same here. Been here all day. Work got called off tonight, so I've been here 24/7 party. It was a fantastic job, Dwight. Well done."
Oh, thank you, Brendan. Thank you,
Gary Drake.
Gary.
Good morning, guys.
Gary.
So Gary, I was telling everybody that. So I'll tell you a story, Gary. We were talking about British food, right? And I'm assuming because of your Union Jack that you're British or you're from the UK. So so Sean was saying something about British food, and I was saying, before you say another word, I was telling the story about the last time Dwight and I were in China, right before all the Hong Kong kerfuffle happened, and we had been when we go to China, we live in China, we live on the local economy and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And so we have been eating like rice congee and fermented vegetables for breakfast, and I was in. So Dwight Dwight. Liquor is incredibly cheap in China, so Dwight ended up drinking an entire bottle of some sort of pear brandy.
It was delicious. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he started crying and everything. And so, so the next day, I'm like, well, listen, I got to go meet this guy. And Dwight was like, you got to go. I'm too hungover. I can't be in a subway. Just go. So I go and I see this restaurant, and it's called the Kowloon Cafe. And Kowloon is in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong was a British colony for the longest. So Kowloon Cafe had a British breakfast, and I jumped all over that. And that was the most scrumptious thing I'd ever eaten in my life, was that British breakfast. And it's significantly different than I don't know, I guess American breakfast. We eat cereal, I guess, with milk, but they had like a spread, man. It was like beans and a grilled tomato and meat and eggs. And it was just, I was like, after eating all this weird, tasteless, rice congee looks like what comes out of the Nebuchadnezzar in the Matrix, when they're like,
maybe that's what chicken tastes like.
It's a blend of aminos, everything the body needs. It doesn't have taste. It doesn't have everything the body needs. Quite exactly like that. No taste, like a big bowl of tasteless porridge. Anyway. And so I've heard people speak to that British food is bland. It's not. It's delicious. The English breakfast is one of the finest things that I've ever put in my mouth, especially enhanced by a month of rice congee and fermented weird vegetables. So cheers to you guys and your amazing breakfast.
Thanks for the grilled tomato.
Yeah, absolutely top shelf. Yes, thank you. Exactly. Gary Drake is especially with a hangover. Right on. Tristan Draper says full English breakfast can't be beaten. You guys, no argument for me. Don't listen to these things.
Hey, we got a hater. Look at this.
Cowboys.
Better.
You look like a tit.
The Facebook user has finally turned on us. After 20 hours of
time, Facebook users. Now you're telling us we look like kids? You can tell he's British too, because a lot of British people say
You
look like
wank.
you look like a wank.
wank.
Cowboys are wanks. You look like a tit. Call us a knob next.
I getting insulted by British people is so humorous to me because it's just how the expressions. It's not threatening at all. It's like it sounds funny almost.
Hey, listen, I'm a big fan of Gordon Ramsay, so whenever he's denigrating somebody, I'm waiting for someone to call me a donkey or an idiot sandwich.
Donkey.
You can't hurt my feelings.
What are you of an idiot sandwich with a
The question is, which one of us looks like a tit? That's
Yes,
come
back.
You gotta be specific.
Is he a tit? Is he a tit? Or am I a
tit? Oh, we're both. Oh, the both. Am I a tit? Am I as well?
There's three of us. This is ambiguous.
Pretty people can't count.
I'm thinking it's these guys are the tits.
Probably.
Oh, three. Oh, man. What do I do? Now I gotta go around. We should have a posse of just three tits.
Yeah, the tit wankers. That's their name. The tit wanker posse.
They're British. They have nothing but passive aggressive cards to play. I will stare uncomfortably at you.
The tit wanker posse plays. I raised my eyebrows at your unshined shoes.
Oh God! All right,
we lost all of market share in the UK, so I keep looking to see if our numbers are going backwards.
You're like, I drew the line at tit wanker. Tit wankers.
Oh, I love you. I love you, Facebook user. You're hilarious.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
We don't actually dress like this. You know that, right?
No, they actually do.
Hey guys, the Facebook user, the hilarious person, Facebook user, is probably going, man, these Americans, they all dress like cowboys all the time. They probably have 16 guns stuffed in their pants. All they want to do is ride on horses and shoot guns.
It's all true.
It's true. It is true. It would be awesome to have. It's just horses aren't. You can't really just have a horse.
They're expensive.
Where are you gonna keep it? Yeah, that's the thing.
They start chewing on your lawn.
Your lawn? You don't have a lawn if you have horses.
No, because they poop on it, kill the grass, and yeah.
While playing this game, what are your drinks of choice? And is there a recommended drinking game do you play with High Noon? I'm so glad you asked. There actually is. Now, I will tell you that in the spirit of the Old West, you should be drinking whiskey. If you're drinking a Cosmopolitan or an Appletini, it just doesn't have the same vibe as I'll take a whiskey and slam your money down on the table. But what was the drinking game for High Noon?
Texas Shooter.
Texas Shooter, yeah.
And the drink should be based on the posse. So if you're the Hermanos, you're drinking tequila. If you're the Leroy gang, you're drinking whiskey. And the idea though is that, but you can anything you want to shoot is you shoot it.
Not an Appletini.
No, you shouldn't even shoot an Appletini. I mean, you shouldn't drink it, but I mean, you definitely shouldn't shoot it. But
no judgment if you like Appletini.
The way it goes is every time you score a gold bar, you take a shot. That's pretty much.
It's actually self-regulating too, because the more drunk you get, the poorer decisions that you make, and you end up getting killed more often. So we found that it balances out after about 4 gold bars, and at that point you get murdered off the map. So it's actually, even that drinking game has balance built into it.
But we've gone through quite a few Yinglings in our time. We're not sponsored by them, of course. They don't represent us. We don't represent them. But they make a good beer. We enjoy it.
American breakfast is bacon and ammo. Correct. Actually, bacon cooked on the barrel of a machine gun. That's how we roll here in America. And you know what we use to cut the bacon? Pointy knives. Because we are all about pointy knives here in the U.S. as well.
Big old Bowie knives.
A shot every time you're shot, perhaps. Very good.
That's the great thing about. Okay, so we have a very constitutional approach to high noon. Anything not specifically stated in the rule book is up for the table to decide. So, if that's the way you want to play Texas Shooter, by all means.
Let me ask you guys a question. Everybody who's awake in the UK, does it bother you at all that John Boyega, who has a naturally British accent, was Americanized for the new Star Wars?
Yeah, why? Everybody else speaks with a British
I'm just-
accent. Why not just let him be his thing?
Here's the thing. There is a certain elegance that comes with the British accent. That all of the Imperials in the original Star Wars, British accent. Pass it down. If it was somebody important, they had a British accent. If you were a dirtbag, you had an American accent. John Boyega already has a British accent. They're like, no, give us Indiana guy. Oh, what?
I got nothing. We check a lot of Yingling during.
That's Jason.
Jason's in.
Does this game have any similarities to Doomtown?
I have not played Doomtown. I've heard of Doomtown.
I don't know. I couldn't say.
I'm gonna easily say no. No, I'm gonna say yes in the fact that they're Western themed. If I recall, we had a brief conversation with the creator of Doomtown relatively early on.
Yeah, we did.
And I can't remember what the context of it was, but when I looked at his game at that time, there was, and then not that there's no competition. See, what's interesting with board games is that there really isn't there's no real true competition because people that buy board games. So you're finding people that are within a niche. And if somebody wants Doomtown, somebody wants High Noon, they're wanting it for two different things. It's not like a skin of the same thing rebranded, and whatnot. So you won't ever find us. I don't care about the comparisons, because it's like I root for Doomtown. Let them be, let the Wild West themes be predominant in this space because there's enough room. So I'm going to make the assumption that the similarity is only in the Wild West theme, and that's about.
But it's like this. When people ask us, is High Noon like X? It's like, to me, it's like asking, is Risk like Axis and Allies?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Two different.
Yeah.
There's a map, and you have little pieces.
There's a map. Yeah, I mean,
You're fighting each other.
Superficially, it kind of is, but they're so different. They're completely different games, and so, yeah, I think that it really boils down to the story behind it.
Look, if there's any, if you must draw similarity between a game, High Noon is like Epic Duels. That it is. I mean, they're in the form of the basic cards and the special cards and the fact that little minis on the grid. Beyond that, it's so much. Even then, though, it's so much different because Epic Duels, your groups were either groups of 2 or groups of 3. Those were your teams. There's no more than that. And then, if you were a group of 3, it was very rare that it was basically like you had a main character and 2 henchmen, and very rare that those 2 henchmen were really effective at anything. So it's really weird. I mean, and I enjoyed it. I loved Epic Duels. It's the whole reason why I started working on High Noon. But High Noon beyond that grew organically. I knew going into it that I didn't want it to be a skin of Epic Duels. I wanted it to be a thing of its own. And so that's where it started with, well, I was like, okay, then I want more than 3 players. I want 4s. I want 5. I want a posse that can have 6. I want a posse that can have 10. And then from there, it evolved organically through playing the game. If we would play it, we'd see where there was a problem, and we'd be like, okay, how do we address that problem? How do we fix that problem? We introduced, the first thing we did was the game tiles being modified, like a customizable and modular, and then the loot crates, and then and taking dice out of the game entirely. There's no dice in High Noon. It's all cards. There's just on those levels alone, it's a completely different game. But if I was to compare, what is it like? It's like Epic Duels. But
Sam said that was one of his favorite games.
it's a great game. I mean, that was the thing, is like, I remember watching kids play it, and the first time I saw it, I was like, this looks silly. This looks dumb. And the thing is it really didn't. I think I was just being, there's that episode of South Park where Stan kind of hits puberty or whatever, and everything starts sounding like everything he loves is just, and I think that's kind of where I was in my life, is I was just like, everything's even if it's not. But then I gave it a chance. I sat down and I played the game, and after the first turn, I was hooked. I want to play again and again and again. And right after that, right after we finished that day, I went right to Target and bought the game. And it was like $40. And then we played it all the time. And then I took it to the kids camp, and the kids had the same reaction until 2 of them started playing it, and then 3, and then 5, and then the whole room, everybody's waiting their turn to play the game. It's a great little game. And I wanted to bring that kind of experience back. And so that's
So Nicole Ronald says, so is this more of a board game rather than a CCG?
a collectible card game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the start, so the High Noon's going to incorporate a lot of things about games that exist, like a lot of these things. And so collectible card games, there's going to be an element of collectible card games later. That's going to come in the form of the rideables. But at this stage, it is a board game. It's a straight up board game. You play it with cards. It's a tactical board game played like poker, and it's designed that way. It's designed to be just like that. When we start introducing the rideables, like the horses and the wagons and such, the way that I envision that is that those will come in blind packs, blind blister packs. You don't know what horses you're going to get. You don't even know if you're going to get a horse. You may get a car. You may get a motorcycle. And these things are going to be randomized. They're going to be tiers of rarity, and they're all going to have their own special abilities. So people are going to want to collect those cards or those horses and things, because they never know what they're going to get. And I want to do that because I love that there's a feeling in that. I get that feeling when I like Legos, and so I love the little blister. I loved it when they went blind pack with the minifigs, because you don't know which minifig you're going to get, and there's that kind of little anticipation and excitement.
There used to be this thing called Garbage Pail Kids.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
You would take this. It was like this dissolvable plastic bag, and you drop it in water, and it would fizz, and then you'd get this cheap 10-cent doll you paid $2 for or $4 for. But and they don't do anything. They're practically a keychain. But the fact is, it was the excitement of being like, am I going to get the kid that lives in the dumpster, or the kid that lives in the ditch?
The kid that was rolled over by a tire.
Yeah.
They did it also with what was it, Toxic Commandos?
Yeah. Why'd you decide to remove the dice?
I don't like dice. I don't like. As a role playing, I play RPGs. I used to play RPGs religiously, and I always would try to find, I'm trying to find ways to kind of usurp the rule of the dice. I don't like the fact that you can train hard and make all the right calls and do all the right things, and then roll a 1, and blow your foot off because you rolled a 1 or whatever. And even D&D realized that when they started making saving throws, you rolled a 1, but now you can roll something else to avoid the 1. It's well, then why the heck did you have the 1 in the first place? Oh, that's right, because you're playing with dice, and that's what happens when you play with dice. And so it's no hate on games that that have dice. It's just a personal preference. I don't like it. I like there to be a bit of control. I like there to be a bit more control in that randomization. Still want it, but a little more control. And I felt that having the cards, I could achieve everything that the dice was, and more, by taking that out. That was with Epic Duels. The way it worked was, I think you rolled a dice to say how many, like who could move, how many people in your team could move by rolling the dice, or how many people in your team could do an action by rolling the dice. And that seemed unnecessary. Like, everybody gets to do something. It's, like, just everybody's doing something in a fight, so everybody gets to do something, but they all get to do one thing. And that's kind of how it went from there.
Yeah, and in High Noon, oh, that's cool. Yeah, Graham, that's awesome.
Wow, yeah.
Can one of the stretch goals be a poster signed by the game creator and the rest of the team? Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know what? That actually makes me think, because I've been thinking about this, Sean, and the guys. I want to pitch this to you. I don't want to do a 48-hour live stream, but I wouldn't mind doing these kind of things, all throughout the campaign. I think, Sean, you're already planning on doing that.
Oh yeah. I was planning, because I was planning on doing this routinely. Obviously we have work to do, but I would like to do this daily, like literally every day.
What I'd like to do, and I mean, I've sent the images to. I mean, you've seen them. These images that Mikkel has been pumping out for the illustrations. The illustration cards are absolutely gorgeous, and many of them make for perfect High Noon posters. And I've been thinking about taking those illustrations and printing them on canvas and just putting them in my office, just different illustrations in my office, because I think they're worthy of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be cool to take these illustrations, have different ones, and have like a run of them and have them sign and get them signed. Have Mikkel sign them. We could sign them, sure.
Yeah, I would have to. I believe we can add a reward. So if we do something like that, that would be we would just have a limited run of that. Then on a pledge goal. I don't think it would work as a stretch goal, because the stretch goal would have to be applied to everybody, and while a pledge tier, you can limit the amount of people that get that pledge tier. So if we go
we can look at the logistics of it all, and then work our way back from there.
I like the idea. I definitely like the idea.
But I like the idea. I love the idea. I think there's some serious potential somewhere in there to do something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm honored that you would even want something signed by us. So thank you.
Oh, Conflict of Heroes. Actually, I love Conflict of Heroes. I was looking at their one of their production managers did a video a while back that was talking about some of the things that we've run into in China, about like quality control standards and manufacturing protocols. And I was really impressed that they are putting that level of thought into Conflict of Heroes. They're actually, in fact, he was saying that because of their quality control envelope, they're having some of their boards, a selection of their boards made in Germany. And it really impressed me that they would go to that length. I mean, I know what he's talking about, because he was talking about how gray board is put together. There's some very, very important ways that you have to specify how the gray board's put together, how you have to pay attention to, where's their protocols for drying, and so on and so forth. And it was just cool to see somebody else, have that kind of forethought and attention to detail. Their game looks amazing. Their game always looks amazing. So I think they're pretty cool. I shout out to them. Sweet. Good deal, man.
It's interesting because, like, I know we're on the cusp of this great thing, but and people see the vision of it, but we're still these asshole dudes. We're just dudes. And it's just interesting that our skill sets together was able to just create what we create. So I'm very humbled by the fact that anybody would deem my signature like worthy of anything, and sure I speak for everyone from that perspective, you know.
What would be the sign, Graham? If you're still there, what would be the size of the poster that you're thinking? Just throw that in there at any time, you know, and we can just jump to it. Okay. Some lore? Yeah.
Yeah, that's somebody was asking about the Bible.
Yeah, you know, we one of the things I try to do in the official group is A4. Got it. One of the things I try to do in the group is release a little bit of little bit of backstory about the characters that, you know, we're introducing. As we introduce them, doesn't necessarily mean that when they're ready for print or anything. We just introduced the Eastman family in the group before it went on Kickstarter, and the 3D models are still in the works for that. But we you know, put out the lore on it. What kind of like to what extent would you like the lore? You know, I mean, what do you think? And I've explored different ways to do the lore to be like, because we want to do a comic, and I've been talking with a production company about doing audio plays, and then going from taking the audio plays and then converting them to video shorts, like animated shorts, and then going from there and also taking the script and turning them into comics from there and doing all sorts of stuff. But I've also kind of bounced the idea of actually writing a book, just doing a novel, which would be, I don't know, a crazy undertaking. So I'm not ready for that yet. But what kind of medium would you like the lore in, and what kind of format? Have you thought you might need to go to Germany for your boards? In that case, that was something actually that was talked about in the videos that we were looking at with the other company. I don't think we're going to have to go to Germany, because the reason why they went to Germany was they were still working with Foam Core. If we end up going that route, it's possible. The problem is like, I don't know, if we do it, it's gonna, like, I don't want to spend the time. I don't want to spend the amount of time that they spent doing stress tests. I respect what they were doing and why they did it, but they took boards and they put them out in various different weathers for months, and to bring them back and see what happened. And I don't want to wait months to test out boards. I want to get this game produced and delivered to people who paid us a lot of their money to get this game and get it to them. And I was talking to Rad about this afterwards. This is another perk for using polystyrene, is that you don't have to deal with the elements. It's polystyrene. It's not going to warp. It's not gonna bend. And actually, they used a similar material for their cards for that exact purpose, that you can bend it and it goes right back to its original form. And that's kind of what we want to do with this. And so if you want to look for a comparison as to what we're talking about, WizKids, as far as materials, WizKids had a really cool game called Pirates. You've probably heard of it. If you're into the games, you've probably heard it. You probably played it. You probably got some of the pirate ships in your room somewhere, your attic somewhere. But basically, they were, and you talk about collectible card games, and this kind of inspired the concept of how the rideables will work. But basically, you would buy these blind packs, you'd open them up, and out would come these little cards that were made out of polystyrene, like it's almost like a plastic, and they were punch outs, and you punch out the shapes and then put them together, and they would make a little pirate ship. The imagery was beautiful. It had a nice, clean, glossy finish that really made the colors pop. The material was solid and strong, and it was a big hit with people. I'd never seen anything like it then, at the time, and I've never seen anything like it since. I'd really like to bring it back, and that's why we're going that. That's why we're exploring that direction right now. Any thought about an optional companion app to assist with or add to gameplay? Yes. So there's several apps that we've tinkered with some ideas. I'll let the guys go on about a couple of them. But just to talk about the ones that were in the initial plan, and I like to think still are. So there's going to be an app at some point that's going to be a way for you to create your own characters and your own posses, and generate the deck that you created so that you can print it out. I really want that because I want the community to be able to create their own characters in this High Noon universe and just take them to the table. It doesn't mean they're going to be canon. It doesn't mean that, you know, we're going to acknowledge them in the universe. But, you know, if they want to play them with their friends and take some, you know, models and print them out in their little 3D printers and have a game, more power to them. So there's going to be an app for that. And we are exploring, you know, much later down the road after this game really gets off the ground or whatever, we're looking at doing a mobile app version of the game so that you can play with your friends online and do all that stuff. And that's for people who aren't really into the board game, you know, having the assets. They just want to play the game. They just want to have it in their pocket. So that is on the timeline. The guys are talking about doing a really cool augmented reality app, and I'll let you guys talk about that if you want to.
Well, I mean, you know, we're just talking friends, right? So we're just talking about kind of what's possible, not what's planned. So caveat, and you know, let me just preface everything I'm about to say with that. But we found a manufacturer that does AR programming. They have an API that allows you to take a two-dimensional image and build a pattern recognition in an API that makes that image pop off the card in your screen. They're perfectly excited to do that for High Noon, using our artwork, the 3D images of our artwork, and small animations for that. And then there's a bunch of additional possibilities with that. You know, the characters could fight, the characters could interact, you could learn about them. You know, they could tell you a story, they could narrate a story, you know, where they come off the card and start talking to you about what they got going on. You know, that's something that's in the works, but like I said,
There's just some feedback from you.
yeah, that's not something that we're, you know, it's not our core focus at this stage. But yeah, it's totally doable. We have the capabilities, but we want to, you know, if you've been with me for the last 22 hours, I've said this multiple times. We want to focus on doing one thing perfectly instead of many things okay.
And look, if we break through like 5-6 million here, I'm not going to say no to an augmented reality.
So Brendan asks a really good question. Any waterproofing for the cards or board? Yeah. That's precisely. So earlier, about 10 hours ago, somebody was asking me about what kind of board material we were planning on using.
Yeah, I was talking about it when you guys were in the
Oh
kitchen.
yeah. Okay. So that's part of the reason why we spec that is because number one, it's extremely scuff resistant. You can drag it on concrete and it's not going to really show. I'm being hyperbolic, but you could drag it you could drop it on your floor and kick it across the floor. If you do that with gray board, it's going to scratch the image.
It's gonna crease the corner.
Yeah, and you know, and this is the thing. You know, you crease a corner on a board that has to sit flush and sit next to another tile. It's going to affect it's going to damage your column. So we wanted to make sure that when we spec this, that you can drop it, kick it across the room, throw it in a drawer, pull it out, and it looks really good no matter what. And it's also impervious to moisture. Real good, very thick UV coating and anti-scratch coating. Great texture on it so that your characters don't slide around. And same with, you know, we're as far as the cards go, we're speccing out a really great coating on them to keep them from getting, like one of the people we were talking to, I can't really remember at 3 a.m. who it was. I think it might have been Reynolds, but he was saying, no, it wasn't Reynolds. He's in Michigan. He was saying that they live in a very humid environment. Trust me, I feel you on that. We want to make sure that our cards are moisture proof.
And that was, you know, when we were watching that video of the gentleman with the game company, he was talking about, you know, the boards and bringing them from Germany because they had this patented technology for how they applied the adhesive or whatever. He was basically saying in the video, he was like, you know, it's very important that you use hot glue and not wet glue, because the wet glue will absorb into the foam core, and then that warps the foam core and all this stuff. Because we're approaching the polystyrene material, that isn't a thing. It doesn't. It's not absorb. It's not an absorbent material. It won't absorb anything.
Yeah, he was.
So
it's also really important. He made a great point, and if you guys haven't seen that video, I would highly recommend that you guys look at that, because the fact that that's the level of refinement that they have in their manufacturing process, it speaks high, regardless of the game. The fact that they're putting that level of effort into what they're doing impressed the heck out of me. But you know, he had a great point. You know, there's an extrusion process for the paper fibers, and based on how they lay, you know, it's a manufacturing appropriate process. So what happens is that if you lay all the fibers in one direction, if they get wet or humidified, or they dry out, they're going to all contract in the same direction. And what he was talking about was a process where they sprayed the paper fibers in a random pattern. You know, kind of like when they pulp paper. You know, they pick up the paper in a mesh, and they rotate the mesh multiple ways so that the paper fibers, the rag fibers, lay in random directions, so you don't have exaggerated fibers laying on top of each other. So that's one of those. This is a real thing. It's something that we're aware of based on our interactions with the manufacturers, and that's one of the reasons why we didn't want to have any surprises for any of our backers, to make sure that when you get the game, there's no surprises. It's good, it's flat, it's luxe, it feels good, and it's durable.
I saw that the gentleman was saying any kind of lore would be cool. So like comics would be cool, and we were exploring having a comic be in the core game, and that would introduce the concept of the comics themselves, and the comic would tell the story, the backstories of all the characters leading up to the shootout at Sweetwater Gulch, and the comic would end. The last page of the comic would end at the very first turn of the game. So the last action in the comic is basically the starting point of everybody playing the game. And it comes down when you're dealing with comics, and I want to do it right. I don't want to do it, half-assed or cheap. And when it comes to comics, you're looking at, like, to do it professionally. I mean, bottom ring professionally, you're looking at like about $500 a page at the from concept sketch to coloring to lettering. And the average comic is about 22 pages, so you're looking at like $11,000. For that's bottom price for a really, really good quality comic. And we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it in this run. And so the idea of comics is definitely there in the future, but I don't know. Again, if we crush this, then we can have that conversation again. But for now, see it as being the way that we're going to release the lore for these characters. Now, if you've been a part of the group, or if you're not a part of the group, I encourage you to join at the High Noon official group. Just look for it on Facebook. What I generally try to do is create like a really cool picture of the character, and then put backstory to it and share it with the group. I do that as often as I can, which recently has been, we've been building up to this Kickstarter campaign. Hasn't been a lot because I haven't had a lot of time. But I think as things start to kind of slow down a little bit, I might have some time. But I could do that. And then, I don't know. I mean, we do live streams periodically as well. We could do some live streams about the lore.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, there's a Bible for the game, like we talked about before Dwight forgot. But that Bible, like I said, and I'm just going to cover this for Dwight's, bring Dwight up to the same. But yeah, the Bible that's created is there to help flesh out the backstory. So yeah, at some point, if we pretty that up and send it to you guys, that's something that we can talk about. But that's the great thing, is that this is all part of that, behind the scenes pre-production. This is how a game gets made. or at least how High Noon gets made. I'm not going to speak for anyone else.
Yeah, the thing is the Bible. I put together the Bible to lay out the issues, the timeline for the issues of the comics, and there's so much that happens that would happen in the first season, and there's so many characters that are introduced that aren't even lined up right now, and and a lot of it was written with the assumption or the presumption that the writers that we would bring on board, the team of writers that we'd bring on board to write the actual scripts for these comics or audio plays or whatever, they would fill in the gaps. Like there were hard points that needed to be addressed, but they would fill in the gaps on how you got there exactly. And so if we release the Bible, and this is my only thing, if we release the Bible,
Thanks, Luton.
In its current state, there would be a lot of
things that wouldn't make sense. At
yeah,
this stage,
yeah. People might be like, "What does that mean? What?" And
Who's that guy?
Yeah, and then like, well, when you say this happened, what do you mean by that?
Are you talking about the time traveling submarine captain? Well, that's from season 14.
Right. So when I was thinking, because I was thinking about like, well, what if I just released that? Like, what if I just released something like that? And I was like, okay, well, I do have the Bible. What if I just released that? And it got to the point where I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I'll just write a series of short stories. Take the Bible and just put it into short stories. And of course, it comes back down to that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work when right now what I need to do is, create the posses themselves and the card decks and stuff. And, I got Jason, who's been a tremendous help, but it is a team effort. It's, not any one of us can do it all alone. So it's all about time. It's time permitting. I'll be more than happy. I would love to release it. Believe me, I would love to release the lore to you guys as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Do. Let's see. What else, guys? What else would you like to talk about? Or would you like to just Graham wants the top hat.
The official Titwank top hat.
Titwanker top hat.
Titwanker top hat.
Yeah, this you'd have to talk to my father. It's his hat. So I'll find out where he got it, and I'll post it in the group. I'll post in the High Noon official group where these hats were purchased. And you too can seek out your own.
I warn you, they're made out of leather and they don't breathe.
No, no, they don't. Guys, y'all have been amazing for hanging out with us. Like just looking at this screen with a couple of dudes.
We've had an active audience the entire time. There's been no point where like the room has been empty. I think at the very lowest there might have been like 7 people. At our highest it was in the low 40s, so it's constant. So and these are people just rotating through. Some of them were sticking around. So we reached a lot of people, and of course some people were sharing the video. So looking at the video, it's already had thousands of views. And what's nice is all this stuff stays. So I'm looking at some of the comments because people are watching our recorded. They're watching the recorded stuff. And there was a guy that was trying to play one of the Jackbox games, and he's like messaging me that the room isn't working. And I'm like, dude, that was like 6 hours ago. I'm like, my bad. Yeah.
How did all the competitions go in the last 24 hours? Did you have many winners? Yeah, we had a winner
Every time. There's a winner every time.
You guys want another Jackbox game? Is that what the request is?
That's what Tom says.
All right, let's
do it for you, Tom.
Hey, you know what time it is here?
No.
Okay, all right. Time for Jackbox.
I just got that reference.
You had to do the math.
All right, hold on. I gotta close some things down on my my Mac. We Tristan, we have been winging this whole thing. Like,
Don't listen to John. It's been carefully planned out. Every single minute of this thing is
like
planned out.
we knew that we had a rough idea of how we wanted the day to go, and that was almost the lead. We didn't really plan. We just knew that we were going to do certain things throughout the day, and it worked out. So I mean, I'm surprised that we've been fairly consistent this entire 21 hours or however long it's been now. Either way, let me
It's just a testament to how well this team works together. We kind of play off. We know each other. We know what to expect from one another, and we kind of just play off of each other's cues.
Couple more minutes, fellas.
How does the Jackbox thing work? Do we use our phone
Yeah,
for it?
you go to jackbox.tv. You'll get a room code from him,
Okay.
and then you just play.
Okay. Oh. All right, I'll play.
Okay.
Yay, play! Yeah, just give me a second. I really having technical difficulties. All right, that's gone. Cool. So let's.
Tits wankers and ridiculous. The tits wankers and ridiculous.
I feel obligated to make that a posse.
I think we should make it for the heck of it. Like, let's make a tit wanker miniature. I should have took that picture.
We need it. What we need is a conceptual drawing from that Facebook user.
Yeah.
This concept of a tit wanker. What does he look like, and what do they wear? And it'll probably be an obese guy wearing a pair of cargo shorts and New Balances in line at Disney World of all the.
That could have been a Kickstarter exclusive.
It's either that or the bad guy from that James Bond movie. I mean, sorry, the American from the James Bond movie is like, James, come on, Jimmy Bond.
No, we're not. Well, I should say we are full time on High Noon, but we all derive income from other means and whatnot. So we're all working people still. I'm self-employed. Those guys work together. Hey, Becky's away. All right, let me get this. It's comfortable.
Thanks. Would you want the rest of that one?
Yeah, I'll take the rest of it. Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
What do you guys want to play? Lie Swatter again?
Sure.
And welcome to Lie Swatter, the massive true or false trivia game. we can accommodate a huge number of players in a game. I hope that impresses you.
Oh, okay. Do I tap everybody's in or what?
All right then, before we get started, don't forget, new players can go to this website and enter this room code to join the game at any time. Let's proceed. You're going to see 7 crazy facts pulled from these fact categories. Believe it or not, nutmeg was the first Gatorade flavor. Use your device to pick whether you think the fact is true or a lie. A man survived the sinking of the Titanic by floating on a bread raft.
I don't know what a bread raft is. Is it a raft made of bread?
Polar bears can mate with grizzly bears to produce growler bears.
I want that to be true.
No.
Oh, yes.
Willed it into being.
I want a growler bear. I want one.
Al Capone had a tattoo of Sherlock Holmes on his left arm.
Oh shit.
Woodstock security wore flower vests. Nintendo owned the U.S. military considered developing a fart bomb and a bad breath bomb.
Are we off?
It has to be on because yeah, this doesn't play through the ear.
And everyone stands at the end of
Yeah.
round one.
Yeah. What you
All
know?
right.
What you know about just guessing? I am the best guesser.
Here are your new fact categories. The image of Alexander Hamilton on the $10 bill is a self-portrait.
Good.
Good. Ha!
Some Easter Island heads are kissing each other.
I think he's firing up.
The IKEA magazine prints more copies than the Bible each year.
Dear you God.
A man paraglided from the peak of Mount Everest in 1988.
You'd have to be.
Amazing if true.
That would be. I mean, that just sounds like instant death.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, well, it's fine.
A castrated ram is called a Henson.
If from now on it's going to be called a Hanson, that's for sure.
The Big Mac's secret sauce was originally just ketchup mixed with mustard.
Pickle juice.
Elton John was hired as Rush Limbaugh's wedding singer.
Radish sauce is what it was. And now it might be their own formulation.
Yeah, I'm not actually agreeing to do that, but okay.
For all the guys that was.
Here are your scores.
Oh yeah.
I'm the worst guesser ever.
I am the answer.
For the final round, all the facts will be about one category. That category is real Disney cartoons. Try to figure out which of these were real Disney cartoons and which are lies we just made up. Donald Duck has a nightmare that he's a Nazi.
Oh, I've seen this one already. Now I know all the answers. I don't remember the answers. But I've seen this category already. Whatever. I was already winning.
Pluto gets rabies.
I don't remember the
I
answers.
don't remember either.
That'd be morbid if it were true.
Mickey Mouse is arrested for not paying taxes. Minnie Mouse files for divorce.
That'd be amazing if true.
Chip and Dale become beatniks.
They also do rescue agents.
Wow. Good job, Tristan.
Goofy tries to quit smoking.
He's not successful at it.
The seven dwarves fight malaria.
My God.
Let's say it's true.
I kind of knew some of these though, so you know. I only knew the last ones though.
Tom, you're not allowed to win. Tom wins.
All right, we're doing
It's time for another game of live swap.
Drawful or fibbage? Word drawful? Alright. 2 to 8 players. I
Hey,
did
look,
we
Cookie Master
do
said
that
you're
too
a
fast?
full-time host person. I gotta get a better
Here.
job description.
1 second.
Oh, 2 players it
No,
is.
no, no, no.
It won't be
I,
weird
I
if I
think
call
we hit.
you Mom and Dad,
I'll
will it?
start this over.
Good. Let's do this. This
When we gotta wait, let other. If there's something that says like start now or something like that, just wait.
Okay.
Like everyone's in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't hit everyone's in until we got everyone in, and that's for everyone and also join.
To do that.
And then Becky, let's see if anybody else wants to play. Brendan, anyone else? We got 3 more spots. E-Rock's in the house. Anybody else want to get in on this business? Going once, going twice. Let's play some Fibbage.
Welcome to the game. I'm your host, Cookie, and I promise to pay attention this time. Well. 6 players ready to enter the Fibbage Dome. Brace yourselves. Let's do this. This is round 1. You'll get 500 points for everyone you fool, and you'll get 1,000 for finding the truth. Select a category. Okay, here's your first question. On December 3rd, 2009 and March 30th, 2010, rapper Eminem tweeted a photo proving he was surprisingly really good at blank. Enter your lies now.
Sorry, Sam. We'll get you in there, Sam.
Hurry up, use a suggestion if you can't think of anything. All right, where's the truth? Let's see what everybody selected.
Wow. Man.
And that means
I got negative points?
time to pick a category. Okay, here's the question. It's time for a road trip. When visiting Christchurch, New Zealand, check out the $6 million cathedral made out of blank. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the lie for me button if you can't think of something. Okay, here you go. Find the truth.
How do you do the blood flex thing? What is that? You just tap it, don't do anything else?
Pick something. Okay, what did everyone pick?
Gotcha. Ah.
saying here, Tom? You lied to me.
Ah!
How you like that
Well,
one?
don't you feel foolish? Services and breakdance battles are held daily.
This is
And
tough
we're
because
done.
we're all good at this.
I know.
You know what I mean? These are all good. I'm so used to playing this with my kids. So my kids come up with the dumbest shit, so it's like really easy to beat them. But like, when you got a bunch of educated adults, man. Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Spelling is
next
always
category.
busted. But this is tough when it's a bunch of adults playing it. Isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun though. I like
Yeah, it's. I like this song a lot.
It's not hard. You know what? We'll just stick with this one. Okay, here's the question. In 2004, the Train Corporation sold pillows in Japan that were designed to combat loneliness. They were shaped like a blank. Enter your lies now. Hurry up. Use a suggestion if you can't think of anything. Okay, here are your choices.
What is wrong with you? That's so good. Yeah, that's totally wrong.
All right, let's see what everybody picked.
Man. Get the shit out of here.
Yeah, nothing says I'm not lonely like sleeping on a pair of disembodied legs. And that means some of these didn't get picked.
What, penis? That was the best answer ever.
Did you? Was that your answer?
Of course, it was my answer.
Oh, jeez.
This is round 2, which means all point values are doubled.
Good morning.
Exciting. Time to pick a category.
It's nice to see Facebook user being nice again. Last time we spoke with Facebook user wasn't very nice.
No, that's okay. I've got it. Okay, here's the question. UC Irvine brought 6,084 students together in 2012 to break the world record for largest blank ever. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the lie for me button if you can't think of something. Okay, which one's the truth? Okay, let's take a look.
Right. Now, Brendan.
Nice.
Wow.
And nobody fell for some of these ingenious lies.
Nice.
Select a category. Okay, here's the question. It's time for a road trip. Went on a spring break trip to Dongyang, China. Be sure to try their eggs cooked in blank. Enter your lies now. Hurry up. Use a suggestion if you can't think of anything. Okay, here are your choices.
You sick fuckers.
All right, who picked what?
Dang you, Sean.
What I do?
Dang you, Brendan.
Brandon.
Ha ha!
You know what it is?
And look what we have.
What?
What?
Oh, that is disgusting.
For a healthier option, try egg whites cooked in gluten-free young boy urine. And the rest of the board goes unselected.
It does not shock us.
How do you talk someone into that? Like, what do you do? Like, hey, kid, take a piss on this
All
egg?
right, pick a
I mean,
category.
what, or how do you collect the urine even? I'm not, no.
Yeah, the kid in the jug.
The question.
I understand why you
Johnny
appreciate
Depp was
British
made
food
an
now.
honorary member of the Comanche Nation and given a descriptive Comanche name. His Comanche name, Mawu May, means blank. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the lie for me button if you can think of something. All right, where's the truth? All right, let's see what everybody picked.
Dang you, Brendan.
You'll play this one again?
My life's complete. I love when you talk lie.
Which is short for man who shifts into white face makeup time after time. And that means this lie didn't get picked.
Oh, good picture. Wow. Pulling in the lead.
Welcome to the final fibbage. This is your final question, and it's worth triple. It's anybody's game. Here's your final fibbage question. Wilma Flintstone's maiden name. Enter your lies now. Hurry up. Use a suggestion if you can't think of anything.
It's like reverse trivia. You know what I mean?
Okay, here you go. Find the truth. Okay, let's take a look. Ooh.
Oh wow.
Wow!
Yeah, she was only 30,000 years away from being progressive enough to hyphenate her name to Wilma Slaghoople Flintstone. And nobody picked the other lies up there.
Wow. I like that one. Let's do that. Yay! Look at me. I'll take them likes. Heck yeah. Let's do new players. Give some peoples a chance. How do I? Technology, click. Click for me, technology. There we
I
go.
clicked it on my end.
Oh, thank you. Still time to play. Sam, why don't you get on in here? Oh, shit! Tricky Nick's back in the house. Look out! Look out! Oh, man, we almost got a full house. Hold on, let's give it a second. We got anybody else in there? Oh, yes! Let's do it. Let's do it.
And spoiler alert, this game is going to be amazing.
Yeah, we'll get you something, Brennan.
8 players. Not to be hyperbolic, but this group is
Shoot me an
the best
email.
thing in the
Shoot me an
world.
email.
Let's
Support
do
at
this.
highnoongame.com.
This is round 1, and that means you get 500 points for everyone you fool with your made-up answer, and you'll get 1,000 for finding the truth. Time to pick a category.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, here's your first question. In October of 2013, 8 sixth graders from a New York college prep school were hospitalized after someone released blank in a classroom. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the lie for me button if you can't think of something. Okay, here are your choices.
Look at all these responses. All right.
Pick something.
First sip of soda.
Okay, what did everyone pick?
Thank you, Tricky Nick.
Tricky Nick. Back at it. Whoa!
Nice.
Whoa! What? What?
Most likely by dozens of supermodels.
Wow.
And that's it. Nobody else's lies got picked.
There's Brendan again.
Yeah, but Dwight nailed that one.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
All right, pick a category. Okay, here's the question.
Good chat.
Orzel wrote the book How to Teach Blank to Your Dog. Enter your lies now. Hurry up, here's a suggestion if you can't think of it. Okay, which one's the truth? Pick something. Let's see what everybody selected.
Good job, Brendan.
Great lie there.
Tricky, Nick. What?
Then maybe your dog can teach physics to me. And nobody picked the other lies up there.
Oh, tie game.
Select a category. Okay, here's the question. George Frankel is the CEO of a Georgia-based company that will turn your dead relative's ashes into blank. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the library button if you can't think of something. All right, where's the truth? Pick something. Okay, let's take a look. And it was also.
Oh, wow.
That's the thing.
And can you believe it? It was also.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
Great minds think alike.
Tom.
Ah!
What?
It's part one of the 5 stages of reef.
I
And
guess
that
so.
means some of these didn't get picked. it's round two, where all point values are doubled. Let's do it. Time to pick a category. Okay, here's the question. It's time for a celebrity tweet. 4:32 p.m., the 22nd of May, 2012. At Lindsay Lohan tweeted, "Blank is the best medicine." Enter your lies now. Hurry up, use a suggestion if you can't think of anything. Okay, here you go. Find the truth. Okay, what did everyone pick?
Good one.
Darn you, Tricky Nick.
And it was also that was weird.
Ha! Take that, Tom.
Yay!
Stop following Lindsay Lohan, you creep.
And nobody fell for some of these ingenious lies.
Oh yeah.
Please.
All right, pick a category. Well, we ain't waiting forever. Okay, here's the question. Used in medical studies, a robot at the UK's Health and Safety Laboratory goes by the name Blank Larry. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the lie for me button if you can't think of something. Okay, which one's the truth?
Larry.
All right, let's see what everybody picked.
Hey, Brendan.
Yeah, when it comes early, you know you lost it, you
And we're done.
Whoa. Whoa.
Time to pick a category. Okay, here's the question. Instead of having guard dogs, police in rural parts of China's Xinjiang province use blank. Enter your lies now. Hurry up, use a suggestion if you can't think of anything. Okay, here are your choices. Pick something. All right, who picked what?
Thank you, Sam.
Yay!
I think it's funny
I
enough.
respect geese. They're like my favorite animals.
And
They're-
that is
Some of these is like it's like taking it being able to take a good test where you're looking at you're deducing what the probability of somebody would actually write
It's
that.
time for the
You know what I
final fibbage.
Oh,
Just
okay.
one final question, and it's worth triple. Good luck.
That's what I do.
Okay, here is your final fibbage question. Product name of the gas neutralizer pad that you insert into your underwear made by the Solutions That Stick company. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the lie for me button if you can't think of something. All right, where's the truth? All right, let's see what everybody picked.
That's one. That's right there. A British person and an Australian with the U's.
And the rest of the board goes unselected.
Nobody likes fart sponge. Heck with you. I'm gonna make fart sponge.
Look at how bad I did.
Should we get one more round? One more? One more round? All right, one more round.
Yeah.
Something to do, yeah?
Welcome to the game. My name's Cookie, and this is the best day of my life. There will be 6 of you, huh? Well, that's music to my ears. More specifically, adult contemporary music to my ears. Let's do this. This is round 1. You'll get 500 points for everyone you fool, and you'll get 1,000 for finding the truth. Select a category. Okay, here's your first question. When soccer player Stefan Schwarz signed with Sunderland in 1999, the team made sure that his contract specifically prohibited him from traveling to blank. Enter your lies now. Hurry up, use a suggestion if you can't think of anything. Okay, here you go. Find the truth. Pick something. Okay, let's take a look. That was a great lie. Well, you guys blew it. He was hoping to take a commercial flight to outer space, or as they call it in Europe, foot space. And that means some of these didn't get picked. Time to pick a category. Okay, here's the question. In 2013, a zoo in China attempted to pass off a blank as an African lion. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the lie for me button if you can't think of something. Okay, which one's the truth? Let's see what everybody selected.
Brendan, the bane of my lying existence.
People became suspicious when it passed down a dead gazelle in favor of a bowl of sausages. And nobody fell for some of these ingenious lies. All right, pick a category. Okay, here's the question. Psycho was the first American movie to show a blank. Enter your lies now. suggestion if you can't think of anything. All right, where's the truth? Okay, what did everyone pick? And it was also. And can you believe it? It was also. Great minds think alike.
Good job, Becky. Getting on the board. Oh, and now I'm off the board again. What?
And we're done.
Wow. Hey, there we go.
This is round 2, which means all point values are doubled. Exciting. Time to pick a category. No, that's okay. I've got it. Okay, here's the question. In 1988, George H.W. Bush celebrated Halloween by dressing up as blank. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the live for me button if you can't think of something. Okay, here you go. Find the truth. Okay, let's take a look. And nobody fell for this one. Select a category. Okay, here's the question. Budget hotel chain Travelodge reported that between 2006 and 2007, about 95% of sleepwalkers found in their hotels were blank men. Enter your lies now. Hurry up, use a suggestion if you can't think of anything. Okay, here are your choices. it. All right, who picked what? And that's it. Nobody else's lies got picked. All right, pick a category. It's not hard. You know what? We'll just stick with this one. Okay, here's the question. A man in Watertown, New York, claims to have been happily married for over 25 years to his wife, Tegan, who is strangely a blank. Type in your lies now. Hurry, hit the lie for me button if you can't think of something. All right, where's the truth? Let's see what everybody selected. I think it's admirable that he stayed with her after her accident. And nobody picked the other lies up there. This is the final fibbage. One question left for all the marbles, and everything is worth triple. Good luck. Here's your final fibbage question. Brand name of the patented synthetic testicles for pets. Enter your lies now. Hurry up, use a suggestion if you can't think of anything. Okay, which one's the truth? All right, let's see what everybody picked. A cheaper option is to just not cut your dog's testicles off. And that means
Nice job, Tricky Neck. All right, are we done? I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go.
Move that right to the it's right to the right of the window. To the right of the window, it's another frame. It's not that. To the right of the. Where's the mouse now?
Just go.
Hola, and welcome to Lie Swatter, the massive true or false trivia game. We can accommodate a huge number of players in a game. You could even stream it on Twitch and get all your followers playing.
I thought I was. This is...
All right then, before we get started, don't forget, new players can go to this website and enter this room code to join the game at any time. Let's begin. You're going to see 7 crazy facts pulled from these fact categories. Z was not included on U.S. typewriters until 1944. Use your device to pick whether you think the fact is true or a lie. Turkeys can be born from unfertilized eggs. Hitler had 3 testicles. Every single Japanese emperor but one has died of poisoning. Nixon trademarked the phrase, "I am not a crook." Kasum Marzu is a Sardinian cheese infested with living maggots. Craigslist prohibits the sale of llamas and alpacas. And here's where everyone stands at the end of round one. Here are your new fact categories. Swiss cheese does not have holes in Switzerland. Moms produce different types of milk for baby boys and girls. Demi Moore provides the voice of one of the ghosts in the Haunted Mansion. There are no bumblebees in South America. In Europe, connects are called connects. Al Capone's great-grandson is the founder of Build-A-Bear. This place here is a Welsh village. Here are your scores. For the final round, all the facts will be about one category. That category is WWE's Kane. See if you can separate the truth from the lies in these facts about WWE wrestler Kane. Early in his career, WWE's Kane wrestled as an evil dentist. Early in his career, WWE's Kane wrestled as a giant George Foreman grill. Early in his career, WWE's Kane wrestled as Ronald Reagan. Early in his career, WWE's Kane wrestled as a giant baby.
Oh.
Early in his career, WWE's Kane wrestled as a woman. Early in his career, WWE's Kane wrestled as a Christmas tree. Early in his career, WWE's Kane wrestled in a tag team duo with half Nelson Mandela. Let's see the final scores.
I'm so bad at this.
It's time for another game of Lie Swatter. You're going to see 7 crazy facts pulled from the following fact category. Maybelline's original slogan was, "Hey, put some makeup on your face." Abraham Lincoln was pooped on by a bird before entering Ford's Theater. The cast and crew of Titanic were secretly fed PCP-laced food. Donner and Blitzen were originally named Dunder and Blixen. Oprah has preserved her cells for future clone research. Miley Cyrus is also the name of a Charles Dickens character. The latex condom was invented by an Austrian circus clown balloon artist. And here's where everyone stands at the end of round 1. Here are your new fact categories. Charles Lindbergh is the model used on the Red Baron frozen pizzas. Johnny Cash was sued by the U.S. government for starting a forest fire. Jamie Lee Curtis speaks 4 languages, including Klingon. Jesse James stole 500 pounds of coffee during a train robbery. Charles Lindbergh was related to the Wright brothers. There is a perfume that smells like old library books. The vagina was invented in 1689. Here are your scores. For the final round, all the facts will be about one category. That category is your body. Do you know what's true about your body and what's a lie? You have fewer bones than you did as a baby. Your tongue print, like a fingerprint, is unique to you. You are dead. Your ears can detect smells, but only a tiny fraction as effectively as your nose. Your left lung is smaller than your right lung. Connected end to end, your blood vessels would be longer than the distance to the moon. Your liver shrinks when you are frightened. Let's see the final scores.
Down to the last hour. Oh. Get some Drawful going, maybe? task, we can stop. All right, this guy's been trivia'd out. Down to the last hour and 15 minutes. Look at that one. Yeah, I think it's either late or early, depending on what part of the world you're ideally from. I can't believe I've been up this long. All right, let's have a good gander of where we're at so far. So we're at 73,755, 87%. So unless we get some semblance of miracle or a very generous backer, we'll come real close to hitting our goal. Well, of course, we're going to be funding. That's without question. It's to the extent of how much, because we have so much of a huge vision that goes beyond just this, the game, and we have so much to be able to offer. And the more that we can extend beyond our goal, the more that we can give people. The more we can give people, the more they can enjoy it. The more they can enjoy it, the more we can give them. See, it's a reciprocal relationship. That's how that's working out to be.
We're going to be at this all month.
Yeah.
Doing lives and stuff.
Yeah, we weren't giving away. Yeah, we will for sure. We did not. Today was sporadic. We certainly did not give away as many prizes as we wanted. That's not to say that we're not going to continue having some fun throughout the month. We're not going to be doing 24 hours all the time. That's just not going to happen. But we for sure are going to be doing this pretty often, just to stay connected. Let people know who we are. A big part of this isn't the fact that people are just buying into a product, but they're also buying into. I'd like to think that they're buying into us. Buying into the team. There's a huge layer of responsibility that really rests on us, and people they just have a ton of trust in us, and I value that incredibly. So we don't forget the people that brought us to where we are, is what I'm saying. This thing don't work if nobody wants it, at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. So value will forever and always be our forefront. We not only that, we're putting together a whole department specifically for that. Right now, we just loosely call it customer experience, but we should probably, like, community experience would probably be a better name for the.
I like that.
Oh, hold on. This last hour is getting me.
Look at these guys.
Yeah, we might as well just the empty chairs. Those guys are passed out. That's all right. We hung into the
tired, man.
We hung into the end. The end. The last hour.
Nick should win a prize though, because he really kicked ass.
He was whooping ass. Shoot us an email, support@highnooнгame. We'll get something figured out here. Let's take a look at what we got. All right. Who's celebrating? Who's going to be celebrating? Let's look at the world time. Here, let's go back here real quick so I can see what we're looking at. All right. We'll pull these guys off the stream. All right. Who's coming up on on a noon. Paris,
Or Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. Our friends, our Parisian friends. We have a lot of folks out there. It's 3 a.m. out here. It is going on 5 where we are, my friend. Yeah. I mean, there's people, man. As long like I was committed to staying on for as long as people are going to be here, and it's clear that we obviously we went around the planet, literally around the planet. We had people watching the entire time. Even now, we consistently hold a dozen people watching us. Now there was a point where maybe it got down to like 5 or something like that.
Not when I was
7?
around.
I don't know, it got down pretty low.
I did
under 10.
take a short nap though.
Uh-oh, this one. But and that was like around like at a time when it was just really
It's like an awkward time.
Yeah, for everybody.
Yeah.
Midday here in Germany, almost noon. That's right.
Hey, Martin's back with us.
It's crazy because like we're seeing all the same names throughout the
Yeah.
day. That's
Yeah,
kind of
coming back.
neat.
Martin, I'm going to be working on getting your
Is
German
this
translation,
uncomfortable for you?
the rule book updated next. So we're going
Yeah.
to get that online hopefully tomorrow or
So our
today.
Paris friends. We're just at Amsterdam as well.
Yeah. That's a place I'd like to see. Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, why not?
Mhm.
Let's look up things to do in Amsterdam.
Oh, my goodness.
Can anybody fault us for being tired? Nobody can fault us. The 15 best things to do in Amsterdam.
Amy and Matt had one. They had a blast.
Fun and games.
Had a good time.
Fun and games in the Amsterdam.
Has anybody here been to Amsterdam?
See, the problem is, I feel like if I went to Amsterdam, like,
See,
it's
I
just
don't
gonna
wanna-
be
I don't wanna
it's
do
all this
the,
stuff.
The
Like you can do
tourist
this in,
stuff.
you can literally do this in walking.
Like it's like what we like to just walk around, you know?
Yeah. Screw the site.
Yeah.
Screw that. Yeah.
We'll have more for you to do, Martin. I'm sure. Keep you posted.
Yeah.
Really appreciate your help.
Let's go to our. This is what I've been doing throughout the day. I've been Googling Kickstarter and high noon to see where we are. So PR News, Newswire came out. That was our press release that got sent out. We're featured on Forbes. That was not a press release. Forbes wrote about us on their own fruition, which was kind of neat. Wow, look at it shows the views. Oh wait. Where am I there? I thought it showed the views. I'm about to send this guy there 1101. I'm about to tear that up come tomorrow. I want to run brand awareness ads to all our news articles.
Sure.
Our PR Newswire press release that came out this morning. This went out to about 180 different media outlets. This is all saying the same thing. What else? What else is there? KickTracks. KickTracks tracks the performance of Kickstarters. So they theorize that we are trending towards $1.1 million. That's under the assumption that everything is like today, which it will not always be like today. It could be, because we have I have several friends that had ran Kickstarters. So here's Foldy. This is my friend Mike Hartman, and he had 12,000 backers. And what was interesting about his campaign is that they didn't start off very strong. They started off at $7,000 on their first day. And then boom, then they ended up with what did he get? 1.1 million, 1.3 million. They ended up, so even on a $10,000 goal, they didn't hit it that first day, but really at the end it picked up huge.
Yeah.
They caught a little stuff in the middle, and that was a good time to get that stuff.
Yeah.
These are all the backers per day. Who else is a friend of ours that did Trekking the World? Was
Hassan.
another friend of ours, Hassan.
Did you spell it right?
I thought I did.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll do Trekking.
Oh, yeah. So yawning.
Yeah.
There we go.
No, it's the national parks, though.
Oh, I thought that was his.
No, this is his, but this was their first one.
Oh, okay.
So their first one, it was,
Oh, yeah.
was just tiny.
Yeah.
It was their second one that really hit home. Why? I thought it was called Trekking the World, wasn't it? Or was it Trekking the Globe? Oh, it's Trekking the World. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Okay. So here's the second one. So then Hassan and those guys at Underdog, this is what they did. So they started off having a big old day, and then they carried on throughout the remaining, getting about $8,000 a day. Got themselves $250,000 to build their game. 1,000% of that, their goal. Who else do we know? I think he canceled his, though. Yeah. That's all we know in that space. I can't remember. Yeah, either way. Here, let's look at all the gems out there.
Oh, yeah. Even that was phenomenal.
God.
That is amazing.
Ridiculous. That is
good for them.
Ridiculous. 83,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
That is just a lot of money. They started day one at 4 million, dude. That's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Look at how. Look at their regular day. They were getting $405,000 a day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, they became the most funded. I didn't know that they broke that record. Good for them.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, here we are over here. What do they speculate for us? Oh, so we got a range here. They think 270,000. with a high of 480. Daily fund and daily backers. Oh, look at that. 6 days ago, I didn't even know about this. KA News. Yeah, look at that. I didn't even know about this one. Who is calling me? Where's my phone? Oh, is that Rad maybe? Oh, Dwight. All right. Sorry.
It's all right. We got a lot of updates to a lot of great content that we can throw in the updates section of the Kickstarter campaign page. And, you know,
Yeah, now we get to say as seen on Forbes on the pledge page. So I'm gonna find all these places that we're on, like, you know, these reputable sites that we're on. Gaming Trend we got today as well. So that was your article on there then. That's pretty neat. Yeah, we gotta post all that stuff. Tantrum House talking about us. We knew about that. That was last week.
what was that page that that was showing the trend, the trend projection? What was that? Where was that at?
Kicker Track.
Kicker Track. Gotcha.
And Backer Kid. Everyone's got their own version of how they calculate. Let's see like this. Oh, I dream of sleeping. I dream of the day where I can go back to sleep. All right. Here's another one. The Gaming Gang wrote about us. So the Gaming Gang, I don't know. I'm not familiar with these guys. But either way, that's cool. I'll take it. Here, let's that song's gonna be in my head all day now. Now everyone gets to see the magic behind social media. The allure of the behind the scenes, as it takes 8 hours to load up. I can't wait to upgrade this RAM.
Rob says it's been a good 23 hours work, guys. Very informative. That's what we're trying to do, Rob. That's what we're shooting for.
Yeah, Stuart. Thank you. I think we all snuck a nap in there. Angel's on. Good morning, Angel. Dream of the day. Yeah, man. The whole world is shut down right now, man. We are living in banana lands, man. I'm telling you, it's bananas out there right now. What am I doing now? All right, I gotta post.
Ooh.
I want to do that now. I do it later. You know what? Oh, I got Instagram. Get rid of Instagram. And boobly boob. There you go. That's how that works. Okay, let's go back. See what else is out there. Talking about High Noon, giving us some love. Look at that. Well, even our marathon is catching some SEO traffic
Are you serious?
on YouTube. Yeah, not much, but I mean, granted, I'm looking up a very specific
No.
search term, but I want to get all these different games that people relate. So then when people are asking us, we're just like, yeah, we've been there. We know. Hey, we're on the latest Nigerian news.
All right.
It's all the news in one place. We've made it. We have made it. I'm going to post that. You know you made it. You know you made it.
Man, that it's just being in Forbes is just wow.
That's unbelievable, yo.
Goodness gracious. Oh wow. Hey, who put somebody put us on Reddit even?
Yeah?
Yeah. What? Do you guys have a Reddit? Did you guys create a Reddit?
Oh, High Noon Inc. Are you talking about? Yeah, High Noon. There's an account on. Yeah, we have we're on Reddit. There's an account name. I don't think we're doing really much of it, other than poking around right now. Reddit's an interesting community. You can't really just pop in there and just start doing your own thing.
Yeah.
This I did not do. So there will be games. This is board game news. This is someone else. Oh man, I don't remember my Reddit name. It's on my phone. That's all right. That's okay. I'm just pretty excited that we were on latest Nigerian news. That's all I'm saying. Not too many people can say that. I wonder, like, what's like what value a website like that has. Like, if they're just pulling, like, if it's just software that just pulls in articles or something, you know, to because there's a heck of a lot of
Dude, we're in Business Insider as well.
yeah, but that's through not to downplay it, but that's through our press release. So that got set out to
Yeah, but I mean, I've launched press releases. It doesn't guarantee you're going to get published anywhere.
no, it does not. It does not. There's just more. There's just more. There's just
Not
more about knowing that, like, Forbes willingly on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That it wasn't. We didn't feed them an article to put on their site. They wrote it on
Right.
their own. You know, which is
Right.
really cool.
That was what an incredible article.
That's something
Yeah,
we gotta print. Like, that needs to be printed.
yeah.
You know, that's something I'd like to frame. Yeah, I should probably do it sooner than later because I don't know how long those stay up. And now we're probably into nothing here. This is all.
All right. Well, listen, we have final 45 minutes. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about?
I think people are just chilling out with us. Maybe someone who works for Ford's bought it. I would, Rob, what happened a couple weeks ago is the chief creative officer of Sellers of Catan shot us a message. Didn't say who he was. He was like, "Hey, it sucks that you guys are having to deal with. We had some idiots on one of our ads." And he was like, "It sucks that you guys have to deal with idiots." And I'm like, people are just frustrated. So I had a nice little discourse with him, and I was like, and he mentioned that he was in the industry. And I said, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I work for Catan." And I was like, "As in Settlers of Catan?" And he's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "Whoa." And then we looked it up, and it was so there's a lot of attention on us, probably more so than we're aware of. And it's and which is pleasant to know. Yeah, that 8 gigs, man, ain't doing nothing for me. Nick is pretty sure that you're a vampire.
I sleep. I do sleep. It just hasn't been time lately. I managed to sleep. Yeah. I stuck in a nap while this was happening.
Were you aware of High Noon Laboratories Inc.? Just Google High Noon stock price. There's a pretty much a High Noon for everything. There's a High Noon beverage even that people send me photos of. But, yeah. All right, let's see where we're at. Let's get our French folks. We're counting on you, France. We're at 87%. 29 days ago, 435 backers. I have a friend that just hit it big on a project that she's on. She started a website, app called Squad, and uh, they're whooping ass right now. Esther. And then what she just did was that they just released a product that you can then allow your friends, all of your friends can get together all at the same time
Yeah.
and watch like Netflix together and shit like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, she raised like $5 million for it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's her. I've known her for 15 years, maybe now. She used to live in Milwaukee. We had connected online through YouTube. We were both YouTube partners back when I was doing all that shit for YouTube. And she got recognized by Weight Watchers. She was a little bit of a huskier girl, and she lost a bunch of weight tracking her success on Weight Watchers. So Weight Watchers ended up hiring her. Gave her like a 6-figure salary. They put her on billboards and commercials, like, across the country. But she always preferred being behind the scenes of stuff. So she moved out to San Francisco. When she was here in Milwaukee, she coincidentally married a guy in Milwaukee, my hometown. And then they were looking for a financial advisor. And I don't do like my friends' plans. I don't do, I'll give advice, right? But I won't manage friend. Backstory, I used to be a financial advisor. Now there's people that have become friends that were my clients, but it doesn't really matter. But so I set them up with one of my partners, Hans Michael Bust. So then she goes out to San Francisco, starts a company called Olabot.
Oh my gosh.
What's that?
Did we just get another backer?
Well, maybe.
I think we just got another backer.
Yeah, we did. We did get a backer.
What did they get? What did they grab?
I don't know. Let me see if it shows me.
Hey, we launched at 7 a.m. It's a 24-hour.
Brandon Hartzog did.
Oh, hey, Brandon.
Speaking of clients that became friends, he was a client of mine that we ended up becoming buddies thereafter.
Sorry. All right, go ahead. Continue, please.
So she goes off, starts Olabot. Olabot failed. But she's known in the startup community. So then she just picks up another project, and then boom, they gave it to her. They gave her like $5 million to get rolling. It's good to have those types of connections, because when you have a good idea, these guys, these angel investors and VCs and whatnot, they're essentially these private equity groups and whatnot, they cut $100,000 checks like it's nothing. And it's actually part of their process that they know, instead of investing like, $1 million in one company, you put 100,000 into 10 companies, you spread out your risk, and you keep doing that, you're going to run into the next Twitter. So you got all these guys that are just giving away money. Now with the coronavirus, that certainly could change. But a lot of those people that had money in the markets were investing. They're just hoarding onto it now. Money doesn't disappear. It's just people are just hanging on to it now. Look at that. JM Keller increased their bid. All right, we like it. We like it. I'm going to put out a message in our update for all of our good friends pledging $1.
Yeah.
that they should have no concerns if they're worried about, nothing's going to get charged until mid-June. And maybe not. Maybe sometimes, maybe they just want to tip $1. I'll take $1. But usually I find those are the individuals that are just hanging on, just to see how the campaign performs and all that other stuff. There's a lot of interesting info back here. Maybe someone were all over you. So 40 minutes left. That's right. You guys have a great product. They'll surely go over the line. I'm hoping to look for we really got something good here. Just now it's a matter. The value proposition is there. Now it's just a matter of getting it in front of as many people as we possibly can get it in front of, and that's where we need you guys to help out with that, because it's you guys that truly have the most influence, right? It's really simple. Like, it's like the old adage with like the movie, right? Like movies don't so much have to advertise because people go watch it, and then what do? They go go talk about it, whether they love it or hate it. They go talk about it, and when things catch a buzz, it's because more and more people are talking about it. So I hope we are doing a good enough job that you organically want to talk about it, not like this forced behavior of, let me just craft some. That's not real buzz, right? That's just you helping us, which don't get me wrong, we'll take that too. But really it's just that natural excitement of people just wanting to do things, and we're doing a good job of it. With this community that we got is continuing to grow with our Facebook page as well within our group. And that's important stuff. That's me yawning. That is me yawning. The miniatures do not come painted.
Yeah, no.
By design. We wanted to, we wanted to appeal to a wide audience, right? And we wanted to make sure that the people that are hardcore had that availability to paint their miniatures as is. And people that, are not so, or maybe the casual gamer, maybe they never paint it and they're quite content with it, or they take their stab at painting. I'm told that it's not that difficult. Now I challenge that statement. So I'm going to be painting, taking my stab at painting it myself to see how that works. But I'm nowhere near the amount of artists that I think I am. Can we change our pledge level during the campaign? Yeah, you can change your pledge level pretty much anytime, even up till after the campaign. On the 8th, so the campaign ends June 4th. On June 8th, we'll be sending out a survey from BackerKit that's going to confirm everything you want. That's also going to include all the add-ons that we're going to have and optional buys and whatnot that you can pick up at that time. And then on the 18th, whatever is in your BackerKit pledge, that's when you'll be charged. So nobody has been like, so when you look at this 70, what are we at? $73,000. That's all just a promise, right? Just a promise that when we get through this whole process, that people are going to follow through. Now, there's a high level of success because of the nature of Kickstarter. People want their rewards, right? We're not just giving away T-shirts and Kit Kats and stuff like that. We're giving away the product that we want you guys to help us fund to create to begin with. I've been with you from the start on Facebook, and I've told everyone, thank you. Appreciate
Thank you.
Will the first day backers stand be blank as well? Yeah. Pretty much everything's gonna be blank. The only colorization that I could ever see possibly happening is on a retail level for just and even then, I mean,
It's not gonna be good quality, but it's also not going to be, a high price point.
it's
It's going to be designed for people who literally just, they're on a budget and they just want a game that they can open up and play.
Oh, we did this thing, dude. We did this for 24 hours, almost 24 hours. That is nutty. All right. My brain feels like mush. I'm going to sleep so well tonight. Amazingly well. Not even tonight. What am I talking about tonight? The
Today?
sun is coming up behind me as we speak.
Yeah.
It's this has been interesting. I did not anticipate like it going so fast. For me, it seemed like it went fast. I thought we were gonna like. It's only until now are we truly running out of things to talk about. you know what I mean? Like down to the last half hour. And then there was a little short period of time where we got sidetracked on maps or something like that. Maybe a cool stretch goal if you hit 1 million could be to have the option to have them painted. Maybe a stupid idea. Tristan, it's all the ideas are all good. Everybody's got great ideas, right? So there's nothing wrong with the ideas. It's the financial cost of that, right? So to have the logistics of it makes it not prudent because for a variety of different manufacturing and distribution reasons that if we were going to do painted, we would have to go painted. And that's just not.
We have to do an entire production run.
Yeah.
Regardless of who bought it. Like one person buys, doesn't matter. We could buy, 10, 15, maybe 30, 20,000.
Now, what I would love to have is to be able to have a network of people that do paint. So when people go to our site and stuff like that, we can refer like, hey, you can have, you send this guy your posse kit, he'll paint it up for you and spin it back. But I'm pretty sure you also have a guy like that in your hometown. Just you could Craigslist that type of thing, or just take a stab at it. Will it come with paint? No, it's not gonna. There's paint. No, for sure, it's not gonna come with paint. And there's a lot of issues on paint coming in from overseas and whatnot for all the flammable reasons, and so no paint. What time is it where we are? It's 5:30. I am 5:30 a.m. What the heck? I'm going to close this thing out with you guys. That would be awesome. I appreciate it. Mick Dickman's back in the house. Mick Dickman. We have not reached it yet. It slowed down when it hit Europe. So I imagine.
Hey, so the person who asked about the paint, what I use to paint my minis, I'm not a painter either. Like I'm not even a hobbyist painter. But I've found that what I've got and what I'm using is very budget friendly and it gets the job done. And the minis look great when they're painted. And so what I use for the paint is this brand. It's called Model Color, and you can get it on Amazon. Just look up acrylic minis paint. And it's really cheap, and it comes like a big kit. And it's like, I don't know, like $15. And then it's just all about the wash that you use afterwards. So Citadel has some really good. I don't know if you can see it, but Citadel does a lot of the paints for is like the go-to for like Warhammer and whatever. And they have some really good washes, and you can get like a wash kit that has like a ton of different colors and stuff. And that's you can basically get these things for like $20 or less. So for like roughly like $30, you can have like a whole paint kit ready to go for your minis. Then you get it on Amazon. Like Amazon, deliver it the next day, and you're good to go.
Don't want to sound stupid, but how do stretch goals work? Okay, so how a stretch goal works is once you hit your goal, you don't necessarily want to stop raising money for your ventures. So what you do then is you look to add value. So for instance, our goal is 84,400, right? But we have a stretch goal of 100,000. So once we get to 84.4, what's the compelling reason for people to continue funding, but to help us achieve more things that we can be able to offer them? So that's where the stretch goals come in. We are allowing all the tiers with the exception of the miniatures only pledge to be unlocked on all levels with the but the miniatures would get any posses, of course, on the miniatures only pledge. Or hopefully people in the group will take pictures of the painted miniatures. That for sure will be happening. There's already people in the group that have been taking pictures of miniatures that they've already painted. We have some phenomenal artists on our group. Yeah, you only need to find a Warhammer shop for paint. All right, Matt. I reckon.
Well, thank you, Matt. What about the Werewolf Posse Facebook user?
They like it in general, it looks like. I think that might have still been Matt Batsos. Man, some of you guys have some just interesting names. Tristan Draper. I mean, you guys have names that are like out of like novels or something like that, like some Danielle Steele novel, like Tristan Draper. My favorite by far is Mick Dickman. Mick Dickman with the lion.
Hey, Mick. We have not hit the target yet, but we're very, very close.
Well,
only 11 grand shy.
Yeah.
Actually, 10 grand roughly.
Hey, look at Scott popping in.
Hey, Scott Lara, USA.
Good morning, Scott. Everybody in the U.S. is starting to wake up. We're 24 minutes to the best sleep ever.
Yeah, Father Franklin is super fun. I don't know if you saw, if you watched the live play that we did with the group. It was with a group of people, and everybody played an expansion, and pretty much basically two people had to like swap with Father Franklin. One person started, and another person picked him up. Neither had played him before, and he still held his own. He got hammered pretty bad, but he didn't die because he is a tank.
Who won that one?
Jason did with the Abernathy.
With Abernathy, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, Rob's in Australia. Mick's in Australia too. Mick and Tom Muddle or something. Tom Moody. They're in Melbourne, if I'm not mistaken. Mick, you're in Melbourne, right? It's coming up midday, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we started midday UK. That's where we started. That's where we ended. UK somehow became the standard of the time. Like that's the official start of the day as we make our little rotation. Spin around the sun. There's Tom. So we got a nice little group in Australia. Okay, well, we have our high noon Australian Expo or something. Boy, Scott wants to. He's got. Do you feel like Jack Bauer from 24?
And you're like, he doesn't sleep? Yes. I'm looking at the clock going, doot, 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 as the digits change.
That was such a great show. I can never watch it again though, because there's so much to it. You know, it's like every season is like, that's a dedication, man. And they had like 8 seasons.
Yeah.
I think 8. And then they did like a movie in there too. God, that was a long time ago, dude. That was like September 11. That was like 9/11. They've been like 2001, I think.
I was watching that his show, his canceled show, Designated Survivor.
How was that?
The first season is really good. It's insanely good how good it is. But then the second season, they got a new showrunner. So the whole show is a completely different style. It's a completely different show. And it was weird because I'm watching it and like after a few episodes, I'm like, this doesn't even feel like the same show. And then I looked up online and like there were people who were even saying like, why does this feel like a completely different show? And then turns out it was different executive producer, different direction. And it sucks. It sucks from there and it got canceled, picked up by Netflix, canceled again because they don't learn their lessons. I don't know what it is about people. Like something doesn't work, stop. You know, like if the audience doesn't like it, freaking stop.
Are there other translations? Yeah, we have French coming and we have Spanish on the way. Somebody offered Polish, but I said that's literally the only request we've had for it. So I think we need like every day. What was happening was every day someone was asking about German and somebody was asking about French, like literally every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And they were not only were they asking in their language. Now, because of the joy of Facebook and translation, it made that very accommodating. But then that was enough for us to, and then people stepped up, like Martin stepped up, and he offered to translate our rule book over to German.
The Poles have a very special place in my heart. If we can hit some of these stretch goals, I'll be open to it.
Wow. Look at all of them. All right. Let's see if we capture anybody. Can we get get 5 more people in the next, you think? Get it to 440?
Oh my gosh.
We went back one. We lost a guy.
New lime glazed donuts.
You have what? Huh?
Krispy Kreme has key lime glazed donuts.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of key lime.
Oh well, that's fine. More key lime from me.
I'm okay with it. I just no, I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it. I'm more into the pecan pie is my jam. Like if I'm gonna get into pies, that's the pie that's irresistible. I got a buddy of mine in town. He makes pies and he delivers them to people. Ed's Cheesecakes. That man makes the best pies I've ever had in my life. He makes these turtle cheesecakes. He makes whatever you want. He's got like 60 different pies. He's got 2 ovens in his house. He's been doing that for like 20 years, just baking in his house. He was a UPS man the whole time too. And I kept telling him, I was like, why don't you just go into business for yourself? And he liked the peace and security that UPS had. You know, he had a good income. He had all the vacation time in the world. He was getting ready to retire with a pension. So he did retire with the pension. So I asked him, I was like, what are you going to do with your cheesecakes now? So he's going to buy a truck. He's like, I'm going to buy a truck and just sell cheesecakes out the truck. And I'm like, man, I was like, you're selling yourself short, man. Like, get like, like at least get someone else to sell the cheesecakes. Why do you got to go do that? But whatever. Who am I to question another man's ambition? I have not tried your Nan's apple pie. I would love to, Matt, if you could have. If you want to send us apple pie, I am not against that concept.
My dad's a huge fan of apple pie. That's his thing. So
I'm only mildly okay with it. When I was in my early 20s, I got sick on apple pie, and that like that threw me off a little bit. Nans are the best, man. Mine is no longer with us. So 15 years ago, 12 years ago, something like that. Grandmas make for the best memories, man. All right, what do we got? 16 minutes.
there we're at. Wow. 15 minutes. Here we go.
And then I am so looking forward to just clocking out. Made with British Cox apple. Nan are the best. Oh, is Nan a type of apple? I thought you're talking about like your grandma.
Yeah.
Or are you talking about grandma when you meant to say Nans? We do not. We do not have our own Discord page. I suppose that means we should get our own Discord page. Let me write that down. Hey, Samar. How is my department? I have never even. I'm familiar with Discord. I've never used it. I don't even know what the interface looks like.
It's sleek and clean.
Is it similar to like just Reddit or something like that, or like Trello? Yeah, remember ICQ chats? Remember that shit? And IRC chat rooms and whatnot.
ICQ.
Yeah, ICQ. You remember?
ICQ.
I think we even chatted on ICQ. I have a sneaking suspicion that we did. Yeah.
That was the sound it would make.
What's your favorite posse, Dwight?
Oh, man, that's a right now my current favorite posse to play is Governor McGrady. I love playing Governor McGrady because his whole thing is playing all the other posses against each other to his nefarious ends, and then racking up votes to win an election. He's a manipulator of the battle space, and it's fun. It's fun to be able to like push people in different directions to do things you wanted to do, and and like it affects the game. Like it's like I don't know how to describe it, but he turned out way more entertaining than I could have ever imagined him to be. So Governor McGrady is my favorite posse right now.
Yeah,
I don't get the play because there's
it
what's that?
was pretty cool watching it, like how that all went down, like the McGrady, like with the two miniatures and whatnot.
The McGrady has 4. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
I'm thinking of Father Franklin. Never mind.
Franklin, yeah. No, McGrady is the governor. He's the politician. And so his whole thing is he's really weak. He doesn't have any real attacks. He has like 4 or 5 cards to his name that are attack / that are basic cards. Every one of his cards are political power cards, like contracts and favors and things that he can give other posses to influence them and incentivize them to do things that he wants them to do. Because McGrady doesn't win the way that everybody else wins. Everybody else is trying to collect gold and be the one to, have the most gold at the end of 12 turns. McGrady has a desk. One of his character sheets is his office desk, where he's running for election, and so he has to. There's these blocks of votes, and he has to fill them all up in order to win the election. So he has to get reelected by the end of the game, either before the end of the game or by the end of the game. And McGrady has he's not, because he's a politician, he's not a fighter, he doesn't really have any attacks or defense to speak of. So he has his henchmen. He relies on his henchmen, and his henchmen have their own leader because they're a private security detail that he pays for. And so they kind of operate as a satellite posse within the McGrady posse. It's like 2 posses combined into one. And it's the first posse that that has multiple factions in it, because it has McGrady, who is a government faction, and then his security team, who are gunslinger factions. And they're mostly, because they're security, they're also not aggressive. They're mostly defense. They're mostly defense based. They have, and the other thing about his posse is because, like, whereas other posses, like if the main characters die, you can still be in the game. Like the first game we played with Dad, he was playing the Leroy gang, and James and Quentin got blasted into oblivion, but he still had his 3 little Leroy gang henchmen, so he was still in the game. He's still in the fight. But with McGrady, because of McGrady's storyline, where he's paying these people to protect him, if he dies, they basically are like, well, nobody's paying us, we're out, and they leave. So basically, if McGrady dies, the player you lose. I like that, because what happens is a good player with McGrady is devastating on the field. Nobody can stop him. But somebody who does not know how to be a politician and just flat out abuses their power and reneges on the deals that they make with players and stuff. If a player playing McGrady pisses everybody off at the table, there's nothing that can save him, because once all guns turn on him, he's doomed. So he's a complex posse. I really, really, really like him. So there's my answer. That's my favorite posse.
8 minutes
10 minutes left.
Seeing if we're gonna sneak in one more backer.
So I'll tell you what, Sean, I mean, it's the last 10 minutes. I don't mind talking about it. My artist has delivered 2 sketches for 2 of the characters coming in the next posse, which is the next Makwa war band, which is all of the fathers of the original war band. So when Elsu and Ki'i and Kayataka don't show up, I see your question, Rob. I'll jump on it. When Elsu's warband, when they don't return from their hunting trip, after a while, people start having legitimate fears and concerns and whatever. And then when word starts leaking back that there's this mysterious that there's these well, first what happens is there's these outlying Makwa tribes that are reporting that a cyclone person is showing up and basically causing mayhem against these colonists, and then so that's when Sitting Bear, who is the chief, who is also his father, he starts getting a little suspicious about the true intentions of Elsu's warband. But then he starts hearing of he starts getting reports from the actual cities where Elsu and Ki'i and Kayataka are causing real destruction, or getting caught up in this, in all of these things that are happening. They're getting caught up in Roger's war campaign. They're getting caught up in, the Leroy Gang bank heist. They're getting caught up in Sheriff Garrett's, hunt for Colonel Rogers. They're getting caught up in all this stuff. And that word finally travels back to Sitting Bear, and he realizes he's like, I got to get my son. I got to get my son out of this. And so he goes to Kayataka and Ki'i's fathers, and he's like, look, our boys are alive. They're out there. We need to bring them home. And this is going to be, and these are old retired great warriors, legendary warriors of the Makwa tribe. And they're they used to fight, and now their days of fighting are behind them. And he's like, we got to pick up our old weapons of war because we're going to need them. And so these old retired warriors are now going back into the fight, and they're going to be a real force to be reckoned with. Elsu's father, Sitting Bear, is going to be a brute warrior. Ki'i's father is going to be a recon martial artist. So he's going to introduce the martial arts, the real martial art mechanics, before we bring in like the ninja and the samurai. He's going to be the one that fleshes out the martial arts, and he fights with a spear. So he's got some good ranged attacks. And then Kayataka's father is the tribe's medicine man / shaman. So a lot of his cards are actually healing cards for his group. So if you were to think about it, if you were to draw a parallel in the RPG setting, you've got a warrior, a rogue, and a cleric in a party, and that is their party. And I just got the sketches for them, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Rob says the elevation rule. Is it in the first 2 tier rules? Like, is there elevation on the maps, or only once the Bandera Blondes come into it? Yeah, only when the Bandera Blondes come in. The Bandera Blondes usher in elevation. That was one of the points. That was one of the purposes of the Bandera Blondes, was to bring in the rule set. You don't even really use it with them unless you fight in the Bordello. But it introduces it, and it introduces it in this very controlled environment. And then after that, we'll introduce like expansion tiles, so you can have like a water tower or some sort of balcony that you can attach to buildings and things. Rock formations and what have you. Things that have elevation in them, so that you can add to the map and you can actually use those rules. And then, of course, for the tournament map has elevation in it. Was there another question in there, Sean? Was there something else somebody said, or was that nothing?
Margot saying good morning, and then Mick wishing us good well.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, mages are fun, and the challenge is introducing a magi into a Wild West setting. And so the shaman is kind of, the shaman's a cleric, so it's not exactly the same. But we do have the way we're introducing magic into High Noon is through a member of the circus who is a magician, and he is Moravi the Magnificent. And he basically does he has all these magic tricks that he does, but they're all based on real, traditional magic tricks. So the idea is that it could be real magic or it could be an illusion, and you're never quite sure. And then that's going to kind of ease people into the idea that no, there's actually supernatural elements in High Noon, including magic, which will get more and more and more extreme as we go. 2 minutes, guys. It's the 2-minute warning, guys.
That's right. Thank you for hanging with us. I mean, we really were able to identify today who are hardcore, who will eventually be our original High Noon Posse members that we'll be able to recognize by name. But we'll definitely want to be playing the game with you guys. Fully intend on taking this thing internationally. Thanks for seeing the vision that we have, having the faith and the trust in what we're doing. And we pulled off 24 hours. We did it.
Very good.
And now I'm going to go sleep for 3 days. I'll wake up on Thursday. You know what's going to happen is I'm just going to end up sleeping for two hours. And then I'm just whatever. Just how the world works for me. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tristan. Free stuff is always a good thing. All right, that's it. We have completed 24 hours. I'm going to bed.
Hang on. We got to get in on this.
Yeah, let me get a screenshot of us. 1 second, I gotta.
You know what? And all you guys saying that we stuck it out. In reality, you guys were the ones that stuck it out.
Yeah.
The backers, and thank you for sticking with us on this whole journey. This is just the beginning. Get in here, Jason.
All right,
okay,
guys.
Now we got the.
I'm gonna take a screenshot. So just smile.
There.
All right, cool. All right, yeah, we did it. We did it. All right, I'm gonna close this thing down. I'm pretty happy. We've had an audience the entire time. At no point did we not have an audience. Even now, we got 12.5 people. You guys have been awesome. We'll talk more with you tomorrow. Putting out an update here pretty soon, and we'll go from there. All right, take care, guys.